So my OP-1 filled just come in, which is awesome. I sold my original OP-1 to get this, to try and offset the cost, but that's not what this is about. Just a couple things that I noticed initially when I got this is when you turn it on, definitely do the update. The 1.1.2 update has added a bunch of different features that should alleviate some problems, like pressing the power button and it automatically turning off. You can stop that from happening. The volume button, it doesn't click. I know a couple people were asking online whether all the buttons click. It doesn't. All the other buttons do, and they all have some sort of functionality in different areas. So in the recording area, if you go across to the radio, it still has the push to tune on it, which is cool. Turn that back off. There's no chopper game. There's no chopper game. Even if you turn it off and you hold the 4 buttons, chopper's not there, which is a bit sad. But again, it's for making music, it's not for playing games. But it was a cool little like Easter egg of the original one. Maybe there's something else in this one, but that's yet to be found. All the usual sequences are all still there. They've got a little bit of an update, like the drummer guys now match the new color scheme. That's on the drums, and then if you go to the synth, and you go down to finger, same thing. So we've still got all the original sequences, which is really nice. No new ones from what I can see, with the exception of hold, and it's pretty cool. It's a bit difficult to actually play as if it was a sustain pedal on a real piano, because I think that's what they were going for, which is like if you hold a note and you let go, or multiple notes, you'll see here it holds those notes, and then when you press the red button, it stops. So it's kind of like it's workable. Hold it and then very quickly clear and press your next chord. So it's good for setting up interesting chords, I guess, that are a little bit more difficult to finger around. But yeah, not as seamless as probably using an actual sustain pedal, because if you play the notes and then you go to play the next notes and then press the clear button, the hold button after, it clears the buttons that you've held down. So that would be nice if when they did that, what you have held down actually stayed held down, and that would make it work a lot more like an actual sustain pedal. There's still no velocity sensitivity in this, which is to be expected. They never announced that there was. However, in the Super Booth videos that they did, they were talking to Sonic State. I believe it was Sonic State. And they mentioned that they were thinking about, with the velocity sensitivity, that they've been playing with some things with the accelerometer and the gyro, and it kind of hinting that might be coming in an update, which would be cool as an addition to just tilting it around for the velocity sensitivity. But again, we can't really expect that. They never said that it was going to have it. Overall, the screen is awesome. The speaker is insanely loud in comparison. This is a very low note. If I was to go into, and I'm just going to bring the volume all the way down. If I go to the radio, so let's go to something that's a little bit classical, maybe? No. I don't really. Here we go. Okay, not necessarily classical, but it's music. So with this is with no boost on the input, and the volume is so far down. So, and of course it goes to the quietest part of the song. But like, that's cranked all the way up with a very low part of the song. So I'll wait for the next one.
Legend of Zelda,
we don't want that. Okay. It is incredibly loud in comparison to the previous one, which is very, very nice to have. I know I use the headphones quite a bit, but it is good to have the speaker so that when you're just jamming, you can actually hear what you're playing. There's nothing else that's like super new to it. There's obviously the new inputs being USB-C, the new type of power switch, which I actually like. It does require a fair bit of force. Like I don't think it's something that you're just going to bump. Like, you actually have to hit that pretty hard. And then again, on top of that, with the new update, which I do recommend that everyone installs, is when you go in to the settings by doing the shift metronome, I believe. Yep. And then going down to system, there's an option here for power, and you can change that from instant to delayed. And so that way, when I hit the power button, it comes up with a timer. And so as long as I turn it back on before then, it doesn't shut off. So again, for people that were sort of complaining or weary about this power button, it's fine. There's no issue with it whatsoever. Switch it over to delayed if you do think there is one. And if you don't notice it turning off in that amount of time, I don't know what else there is that Teenage Engineering could have done. The stereo sampling is really awesome. It's not really something that needs to be showcased. It works. The effects are cool, like the new, the new reverb mother is nice. So the graphics, that's sort of just like the depth or the distance of the reverb. You've got the gate to gate the reverb, and you've got the color on the wall. So it's a nice visualization, still makes it really fun, and red is the mix knob as well. So yeah, I think they have done a really good job. People are always going to complain about the price. I think that it's really expensive, especially compared to the original one, but it is something that I've used a lot, that I'm familiar with, that I do think is a design piece as well as a piece of, instrumentation, which is what its main goal should be, is to make music, and it does that in its own unique way. And of course, that's why they're going to price it the way that they have. And for whatever reason it is, they've made it. It's priced that way, and it's available to us for that. So hopefully people that do want to get it can afford it somehow, get it secondhand, save up. I don't know. Hopefully, some friends have it, they can borrow it or something. But on the upside is, hopefully the OP-1s do sell for less. I sold my original OP-1 for significantly less than what I bought it for. And I saw that quite a few people have also done that. So hopefully it makes the OP-1 a little bit more accessible to people that are on a tighter budget. But yeah, with the price out of the way and all that sort of stuff, because no one can really change that except for TE, this is a nice bit of gear. I do like it. It's definitely heavier than the original one. The Velcro on the back, take it or leave it. I don't know whether this can be taken off. It probably can. It does feel like it's just a sticker, but I'm not 100% certain. It could be recessed, much like the TE logo on the back. The grill for the speaker, it seems to be doing the job. The speaker's a lot louder, and I know it is a different speaker that's in here. And also this here, it's not a button. I was wondering what this was. It's just where the antenna is for one of the receivers. I don't know whether it's the FM receiver, or transmitter, because this can receive radio and it can also broadcast radio, which is a nice little, I don't know, I'll say gimmick, but I know that there's some people that are going to use their OB4 speaker from Teenage Engineering, and that's how they're going to broadcast to it. And that makes the OP-1 completely wireless, leaves the Bluetooth free for sequencing things or controlling things from the OP-1. And with the TX6, which is in the other room, it connects just fine. Like you just plug it into the input. You plug the output of the OP-1 into one of the inputs of the TX6, and it mixes just like every other mixer does. So overall, I'm happy with the purchase for sure. It's a really, really nice bit of gear. It's super familiar as well. All the old workflow stuff still works. They've made zooming into waveforms a lot easier as well. So if I can go to is there any sampler? Yeah. So with the sampler, when you press the button on top for your normal sample start, it zooms in, which is so nice. It makes it so quick to just jump around. And I know if you work in a DAW or you've got another bit of gear, this stuff is table stakes. But for the OP-1, that's not stuff that we had. It was last year, maybe the year before, that we got USB audio to use the original one as an audio interface, which there's a lot of gear that does that. I would try not to compare this to other gear. I know I just sort of did, but don't. It is its own piece of gear. You don't get a guitar and compare that to a piano, because they're both instruments, and this is an instrument and it does certain things really, really well. Some things it doesn't do, and that's fine. Don't get angry about it. It is what it is. So I hope if anyone has any questions, I'll do a proper review. I know this is getting lengthy, but I'll do a proper review of this, going over all the things that I know from the original one, how they translate across. But if, you know, Loop Hop or Red Means Recording or Cuckoo or anybody else gets their hands on it, they're going to do a much better job of a review anyway. I just thought I'd get this out because it's in my hands now. There were some questions I had, and hopefully this answers some of them that you guys have had. If you do have any other questions, leave a comment. I'll get back to it. Yeah, I hope if you've ordered one, it's close so that you can start playing with it, because it is a really nice piece of gear to have in the hands now. Especially the weight does make it feel a lot more stable. So that's it.